Dr. Stone, episode 17, recap. We get to see the origins of the village and how they managed to survive and what these 100 tales are and why they're so important. And we also get to hear the 100th tale, which is a personalized message to Senku from his father. What did you like? I think this episode's really good. I think it is really sad. Shamil, the character, he's really well written, and obviously everyone in Senku's adopted, we find out, father's storyline, we know they're gonna die. But they really kind of punch you in the gut with Shamil. But he and Lillian are both excellently portrayed characters in this show. One thing that I didn't bring up last episode that I really, really, really like is Lillian singing in English. It really helps you remember that all of the different people on the ISS are from different countries and origins of birth, and it explains why everyone in the village looks so wacky and why some people are very clearly of foreign ancestry and not Japanese. So that's neat. We get a lot of different solutions. We also find out that the whatever happened started in South America. If that's relevant, they call it a petrification beam, but I don't know how accurate that is. But yeah, it started in South America and then spread radially. And I like how they go to great lengths to point out that we found the island that's the literal furthest from the initial impact, and we found a stone statue here. So you do know that everyone is gone, and they know that everyone is gone. But yeah, both Lillian and Shamil are just great characters to love. Shamil's line about having fun is heartbreaking and gut wrenching, and it made me cry. And and the shot where we see Lillian dying is really pretty, with the International Space Station falling, and we get the colored falling stars because of all of the different chemicals and metals that it was made out of burning up in the atmosphere. We get lots of good math this episode, from them pinpointing where the ray hit them to I feel like there's another good math bit, but I don't remember. And then of course I like all of the different villagers getting drunk and partying. I like Ansarigan being dragged into the drinking circle even though he doesn't want to be there in the first place and he only drinks cola. And I kind of like how Ansarigan gets to try to out-villain face Senku when he has the whole Tsukasa and his army are coming. And then of course you get the final, this is exhilarating, like you get the big shot on him saying his signature line. It's good artwork. Again, this is gonna be a shorter episode. It's mostly exposition. It's how things are allowed to work that they are. And this is really, this is an episode that you really should watch. So from now on, consider the rest of this spoilers, because this episode is really, really, really good. And if you haven't seen it before, please go watch it, because it's one of my favorites. So yeah, if you haven't seen this episode, please stop listening to this, go watch it, then if you don't mind, come back, because I'm about to talk about more stuff. When I like the build up to the big cosmic feeling that Senku has at the end, because all throughout the story, the way that we go back from Senku to his father, back to Senku, back to his father, is we keep relating them to one another because one of them will be thinking something that relates to the other one's situation, so they're also thinking that, and they have such shared similar thoughts that it shows that you can form a fatherly bond with someone without being their actual father. This is a great episode if you're a step parent and you need some motivation. I would assume. I'm not a step parent, or an adopted parent, but they keep going back and forth with the same thought pattern, and so once you get to see that they know how each other thinks, and then that gets paid off at the end where Senku kind of, in context of the show, basically hallucinates that he and his father are on some cosmic plane together and his father is delivering him a message, which isn't altogether what isn't happening. There are people who have shared this message for thousands and thousands of years, but there's literally no way for them to fully understand what's being said unless they are Senku. And I like that Ruri is the one that's delivering the message, but she's literally not even in that scene. Like, while the message is being given, I think his name is Bakia. It's Bakia and Senku. There is no Ruri. Her voice isn't talking. There's nothing like that. It's just the father delivering a heartfelt message to his son. And just the way it's all done is really well. The way they build up to it is really good. They earn everything that they try in this episode. So, yeah, I want to loop back around to Shamil's line about having fun, which, as someone who recognizes when their friends are really, really good at stuff, and I like to encourage my friends at doing the stuff that they're good at, and I just like watching talented people do the things that they like to do. I am lazy, and so I don't it's not that I don't enjoy being talented at things or expressing that talent and having fun, but if I don't actively engage, like, mentally with something, then I don't feel motivated to get good at something if I don't care about how good I am at it. We'll just put it that way. I care a lot about people's emotional well-being around me a lot of the time, and I really like to make jokes. I like to think I'm pretty good at easing tensions in a room. I am always working to de-escalate violence if someone's being an asshat. I always like to get to the root of a problem so that I can work on it, and then as soon as that's done, I can tell more dick and fart jokes. That's just kind of my MO. And so I kind of feel for Bakia sometimes when I'm watching this, because he recognizes how great and amazing Senku is, and so he's going to make everything all sevens in Senku's life so that Senku can do amazing things and he can be a fun dad type to his son. And so Shamil has his whole line about how ever since he went to space with Bakia, he's had fun and he's enjoyed himself. And just because this old codger who used to be a teacher is making jokes, just because he didn't see how important those jokes were doesn't mean that they weren't and that they didn't brighten up everyone's lives. And then, of course, we get Bakia saying that everything will be okay and that humanity will be eating delicious ramen up in space again. Um, it's just, man, it hurts to watch sometimes. But then we get Bakia's whole scene with Lillian where he says that even if their generation fails and even if things aren't going well on their island, that Senku will wake up because it's completely giving up is always the illogical choice, and Senku doesn't take illogical choices and make illogical actions. So Senku will never give up. He'll unpetrify himself, and he will make sure to unpetrify all 7 billion people. So, what did I not like? Nothing. This episode's great. It's very emotional. It's very well put together. I like it. Like I said, I've already kind of been doing spoilers. There's the one thing that I said that Tsukasa's army is coming. I feel like that takes a minute because I think that like 1 or 2 of them show up at first. But it's been a while since I watched this show, and I've only seen it all the way through like 2 or 3 times. So I don't quite have the whole sequence memorized of what happens. But yes, I am excited for the Stone Wars to begin because the Stone Wars are really, really cool. I like actually humanizing Tsukasa a little bit instead of making him the Ubermensch. It's pretty neat seeing him kind of melt away once his power's gone. But we'll get to that once we get to that. So final thoughts. What's the big takeaway? The takeaway is that you have to have fun. Fun is necessary for human existence. Our brains are big, fantastical, amazing computers, and they need to cool the fuck off sometimes. You need to have fun in your life. It's absolutely necessary. And if you're someone who doesn't think that that's the case, then you need to calm down and you need to relax, because even if something is messed up in your brain, your body, your chemical imbalance, whatever is causing you to not need fun, literally everything else around you does need it. So you're the one who needs to loosen up. Other people don't need to become more restrictive, tightened assholes. Have some fun. Let loose. And the opposite side of that is that everyone needs to have fun. If someone's being mean, if they let them know, and then if they come to you and they say, "Hey man, I'm kind of sorry, I was being a dick," you have to let them apologize. Because everyone's blood boils sometimes. There's no one who's never been angry. And there's no one who's never said anything out of anger. Even if it's under their breath, or even if it's just in their head, everyone has thought, man, I want to kill that bitch, or whatever. But that's just how people are. That's, again, your brain is a big fantastic computer. It can do so much more than any other animals, but it needs to cool off sometimes. So cool off sometimes. Watch a Netflix special. Dave Chappelle's really good.